move on to do a preview of the U.S. men's national team taking on Jamaica tomorrow in the Nations League. That game, will be the first leg of the quarterfinal. The Nations League has a quarterfinal now, um, and or it did actually. It's been having a quarterfinal, but uh, this is a big one with Pochettino, his first competitive game, managing for the U.S. men's national team, and it will be an interesting one. The game will be played at the National Stadium, Independence Park in Jamaica. Very, very difficult stadium to play in, as any CONCACAF team will tell you. Going away to Jamaica is never an easy task, and you're playing your first leg away. You're wanting to manage that result, be professional about that result, so that you go back home and you have everything to play for, and you're not having to chase anything going back home. That's the most important responsibility that the U.S. men's national team have in this first leg, and it's a tricky test going up against Jamaica, and the fact that the U.S. are missing some key important players: Tyler Adams, Falarin Balogun, Josh Sargent, and then Timothy Weah, who's actually back now fit, but he will be suspended due to that red card in Copa America, and yeah, it leaves it to an interesting lineup choices. Obviously, we know Sergio Desi's still not involved, so you probably can have that back four of Robinson, Ream. I'm thinking McKenzie's back in the fold, and then Scally, obviously Turner in goal. In midfield, I think McKinney and Musa are two certainties. That third position, you're probably leaning towards Cardoso and the way he's playing for Betis. And I think up top is interesting with No Weah being in there. We know Reina, he has his injury concerns as well. He's not going to be involved. You'll probably go with Pulisic. Up top has always been a question. I think right now you have to go with Pepe, just based on the lack of quality there. Besides Balogun, and then that right wing position, you probably go Aronson, but that's not leaning much. But at least we're not seeing Aronson in midfield. I hope that experiment with Pochettino is far over, because I never want to see Aronson play anywhere near the midfield of the U.S. men's national team. Just doesn't have the creativity, doesn't have the technical ability, doesn't have the ability to play in between the lines enough to play as a central midfielder, central attacking midfielder, whatever you want to call it. That's not his position. What he has is he has energy. He has energy to press. He will run up and down the field, and he'll help out. Joe Scally Joe Scally needs help. Doubling up, going up against one of the Jamaican wingers, but he's not. He's just not technically enough. He's not a checker and a footballer, if I will use that term, to play in midfield. And the U.S. men's national team, when we saw them when they lost to Mexico in Guadalajara, they looked pretty crap, but they didn't have a lot of important players like Pulisic, Tim Weah, Robinson, Weston McKennie, Sergio Dest, some very, very vital players, and so this is gonna be important, and I think Pochettino will treat this important because it is a competitive game, and I want to see who's gonna step up and attack with Balogun not being there. Who next to Pulisic who besides Pulisic will be able to step up and attack, and then defensively, if we continue to see them, try to play out at the back. Can we limit the mistakes? Are we able to handle playing out of the pressure? How does McKinney, Cardoso, and Musa fit together? Can that midfield work? Is that a midfield that can go look forward, that looks good moving forward? Because if you're thinking about it, I think if we can get the best out of Cardoso, I think that midfield works better than the midfield of Tyler Adams, McKinney, and Musa, because we get that little bit more. We get we had a little bit of a different style of playing Cardoso that I think complements better with McKinney and Musa than what Tyler Adams does. Because Tyler Adams, he is a worksman, like he's a perfect holding midfielder in terms of he'll be able to cover holes for fullbacks going forward, but and he can drop in between the center halves and help them defend. But when he's on the ball and when he's trying to be the regista, trying to compose and dictate tempo, that's far away from his game. I think Johnny Cardoso in a way can do that. Sometimes he has turned the ball over in midfield playing for the US. He had that horrible game, I believe it was against Colombia, where the bad moments can come. But I think in terms of being able to be technically gifted in there as a six, I think he gives us the best quality in that department. And I think that balances well with Weston McKennie, who is somebody that will run in between the lines, that will make late runs and be a factor, that can get on the ball and push it forward. Musa, similar attributes. But Musa and McKinney, they don't have that ability that I believe Johnny Cardoso has in midfield. And Tyler Adams certainly doesn't have that. So I think if Cardoso can step up to that level of a Tyler Adams in terms of consistency, I think this midfield of McKinney, Musa, Cardoso actually complements each other better, and it is a more quality of a midfield going forward than Tyler Adams being in there. Even with Tyler Adams fully fit, which we don't even know if we'll ever get Tyler Adams fully fit, because you're starting to ask if, not when. It's because it's been a very, very long time now with Tyler Adams. This injury concerns are turning more into concerns. It's over and over and over again. As far as Jamaica, we know what they are and we know what they're not. We saw them at the Copa America. They had their moments, but again, they struggled to develop a consistency in terms of being able to be dominant. They lost all 3 games in Copa America. They had some okay moments against Mexico. I thought against Ecuador, I thought they played solid in certain aspects of it, but again, they didn't have the quality to make them pay. And then against Venezuela, I thought it was a really embarrassing performance thereon, where they got completely done in the counter, with moments from Venezuela. But as far as Jamaica, they have a quality in them in terms of, the Mikel Antonios and them. But, I haven't seen much of them being managed under Stephen McLaren, so I can't really analyze this Jamaican team. I wanna be able to see. I think, we really get to see them in that opening game, because again, their first games under Stephen McLaren have been in the Nations League against Honduras, Nicaragua, and in Honduras again. I'd be lying to you if I said I watched those games. I did not watch those games. They also played Cuba as well. So I need to see a little bit more before I can compliment on them. What I can say about this Jamaican team is there's quality in that team with Damari Gray, Mikel Antonio, Divock Origi, Ethan Pinnick is in the back with Mason Holgate. Solid defensive partnership there with Blake in goal. So there's quality in that team. But again, are they at that level to compete with the U.S. men's national team? I don't know. The pity part about this of your Steve McLaren is you still haven't been. Actually, no. Actually, I made a mistake. Leon Bailey is back for playing for Jamaica. I thought he didn't end his exile. It seems like yes, it seems like he is back with the Jamaican Football Federation. McLaren says Bailey is delighted to be back. That is big. That is big, because he is that talisman. He can be that talisman for Jamaica. I didn't realize that they got him back. Actually, I didn't get that report, so that will be a big factor as well. Him, depending on what side lining up, if he's lining up on the left-hand side going up against Joe Scally, I think is very, very important for Brendan Aronson, as I was saying, to help Joe Scally double up. So Yeah, this is a big one. This is a big one. Now, obviously, Mauricio Pochettino, he's managing way bigger games in CONCACAF Nation League quarterfinals. So, you know, he'll be able to be up for it. But for this USMNT team, you know, I'm looking forward to this one. I have a little bit of slight optimism because of the fact that we're now being managed by a real manager, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Absolutely. Short break here. Thank you for tuning into the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. So thank you once again, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to